Okay, so guys, ready na tayo ngayon sa Defined Benefit Plan Computations, the part 3 of our discussion ng employee benefits. So, concept nung una, ngayon naman i-apply natin yung concept na yun sa mga problems na to. Okay, so this is Jeff Ramos po para sa ating Financial Accounting and Reporting. So, ang pag-uusapan po natin dito ay yung Defined Benefit Obligation. Bali, tatlo yan. Defined Benefit Obligation, we have fair value of the plan asset, and then yung benefit expense. Okay, so tuturuan ko po kayo paano mag-solve ng mga accounts na to. Okay, so let's go to problem number 1. So Jeff shall receive a lump sum retirement benefit of 1 month salary for every year of service to be computed based on his final salary. Jeff was hired in 2020 and expected to retire in 5 years. The starting salary of Jeff is 10,000 and his final monthly pay is expected to be 20,000. The discount rate is 10%. Okay, so ang plano kay Jeff, bibigyan siya ng 20,000 kada taon. Okay, yung basis ng computation for the retirement fund or retirement benefit na makukuha ni Jeff, 20,000 kada taon. So, ang total niyan, 100,000 for 5 years. Okay, so yun yung plano kay Jeff. So, again, kapag tayo ay pumipirma ng kontrata dahil nga ito ay napaka-formal na arrangement, di ba? Yun yung concept natin between the employer and employee. So, basa-basa tayo ng ating package, okay, salary package regarding sa ating mga benefits. Okay, yung plano ng employer sa atin. So, merong marireceive na 100,000 after 5 years si Jeff. Okay, so ang basis po natin ay yung 20,000. So, nag-prepare po ako ng Excel file para malaman natin yung movement, maunawaan natin yung movement ng mga account na to. Okay, so ipe-present value natin ng total benefit ni Jeff is 20,000 times 5 years. So, bali 100,000 yan. So, dito sa year 1, 20,000. Year 2 hanggang year 5, 20,000 din, syempre. Kailangan lang natin ni present value dahil nga after 5 years pa or after 4 years pa niya marireceive yung 20,000 na final salary. So sa year 1, hindi niya makukuha ng buo yung 20,000. Kaya meron tayong present value factor dyan na 1.1. Okay, so we have raised to negative 4 kasi 4 years before pa makakuha ng 20,000 na final salary si Jeff ay ito yung magiging present value niya. So yung 20,000 would be 13,660. And then for year 2, so present value ulit tayo, 1.1 raised to negative 3 years. Okay, so 3 years dahil 3 years na lang bago siya mag-retire. Yun yung present value natin. So ibabalik lang natin, okay, yung ating 20,000. So ipe-present value lang natin kasi syempre nandiyan yung time value of money, yung passage of time, di ba? So again, this will be our present value factor for year 2, for year 3, 1.1 raised to negative 2 years. Okay, so and then last 1.1 raised to negative 1. Okay, 1 year na lang. And then syempre sa year 5, yung meron na siyang matatanggap na 20,000 na salary, ibibigay mo na yan ng buo. Okay, so meron siyang 20,000. So that will be the present value of the salary of Jeff. Okay, so itong present value dito, yan po yung ating obligation na sinet up. Okay, kung gumagamit po tayo ng projected unit credit method dun sa concept, 'di ba? Na medyo magulo, 'di ba? Pero dito po yung basis natin, yung projected unit credit method, yung current service cost, okay? So ngayon, ito po yung nilatag natin dito. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. Okay? So, yung beginning defined benefit obligation, wala pa naman. Okay? So, wala namang binigay ng problem na beginning na DBO. Okay? So, yung defined benefit obligation, 0 dito sa year 1. Current service cost, ilipat lang po natin yung present value natin. So, interest expense, again, anong basis niya? Based on the beginning balance of the obligation. So, 10% of the beginning balance. Sa case na to, since walang beginning balance, syempre 0 din po yan. So, ang ating ending balance for our defined benefit obligation would be 13,660.27. Okay, na magiging beginning naman yan ng year 2. Okay, so repetitive na lang yan. So, yung current service cost ulit ng year 2, transfer natin. 15,000. And the related interest expense on the beginning balance of the obligation. Okay, so we have 0.11366.03. Okay, so meron po tayong ending na 30,000 na magiging beginning year 3. Yan lang po. Okay, so current service cost transfer ulit year 3. And then meron tayo ulit okay, so 10%. Interest expense, so ang balance natin year 3 49 and year 4 that would be the beginning balance, and then syempre year 4 na present value current service cost. Syempre meron tayong interest expense again for year 4. Okay, as of balance natin is 72. And then year 5, syempre transfer ulit natin, ganyan po yung movement. Okay, so year 5 20,000. And then, meron tayong interest expense, syempre, based on our defined benefit obligation. So, ang total natin sa year 5 would be 100,000. Sir, yun din po yung 100,000 na total benefit. Okay, guys, kasi syempre, sabi ko nga kanina, dahil nga sa time value of money or yung passage of time natin, present value lang natin dito. Ang usapan ng employer at ng employee ni Jeff ay makakakuha siya ng retirement fund, okay, ng retirement benefit na 100,000 na based on the 20,000 na final salary niya. Okay, so ang setup natin dito, okay, present value natin dahil nga 20,000 ay marireceive pa na niya pag sa 5th year niya sa company na nagre-render ng services. Okay, so yung 100,000 na total benefit, yun din dapat yung ending na na-compute dito sa ating year 5. Okay, so yan po yung ating computation ng current service cost, interest expense. And so, syempre, ito yung DBO na sinasabi ng ating employee benefits. Okay, so yan po yung ating projected unit credit method. I hope medyo na-gets ang movement, di ba? So, kapag current service cost based on the present value, kapag interest expense based on the beginning balance of the obligation, and then yung ending, ito transfer mo to the next year. Ganun yung movement. Okay, yung importante movement. Okay, so para mas maintindihan natin mabuti na yung employee benefits na to, yakang-yaka natin pag alam natin yung movement. Okay? So, syempre may concept na tayo dito, kaya yakang-yaka na. Okay, so next, DBO at saka fair value of the fund, fair value ng fund natin, kailangan nating pag-usapan ulit ito para malaman kung anong effect niya sa obligation and saan mo i-charge, diba? Napag-usapan na natin to pero balikan lang natin para, diba, ang kulit ni sir. Pero kailangan lang natin balik-balikan para masanay na rin tayo, diba? Total, diba? Sanay ka na rin sa kanya. Okay, anyway, so we have beginning. Okay, not applicable, syempre, effect niya. Current service cost, ang obligation ay tataas. Okay? And then, interest expense, yung obligation, tataas. Yung pa-service cost, tataas ang obligation. Okay? So, benefits paid, nagbayad ka, syempre, mababawasan ang obligation mo. Actuarial gains or loss, kapag actuarial gain, mababawasan, syempre. Okay? Pag actuarial gain, mababawasan ang obligation mo. Okay, so kapag actuarial loss, madadagdagan ang obligation mo. So paper gain, paper loss naman yan. Okay, actuarial gain and losses, alam natin guys, pinapasok yan sa other comprehensive income. Yan po yung OCI items na dinidiscuss, okay, sa conceptual framework sa financial accounting. Okay, so charge, saan natin i-charge yung current service cost? Sa P&L. Sa interest, yung interest expense sa P&L, profit or loss. Pa-service cost, P&L. Benefits paid, itong benefits paid, magkakaroon lang ng offset doon sa ating fair value of the fund na benefits paid dito. Okay? So, offsetting lang dito. So, hindi naman masyadong ganun, wala nang charging, kumbaga. No effect na lang ito. So, actuarial gain on losses, actuarial gains or losses sa OCI natin i-charge. Okay? So, pagdating naman dito sa fair value of the plan asset or the pondo, okay, yung effect sa beginning, natural, not applicable din yan. Yan. Okay, so contributions. Pag nag-contribute ka, anong mangyayari sa pondo? Tataas syempre, guys. So, kapag magkaroon naman ng interest income, yung pondo mo, dineposit mo, nagkaroon ng interest, syempre, madadagdagan yung pondo mo. Yung benefits pay, nagbayad ka na ng retiree, so, meron kang kabawasan dyan sa pondo. Actuarial gain or loss, kapag actuarial gain, natural tataas. Pag actuarial loss, mababawasan yung ating pondo or fair value of the plan asset. Gets? Okay? So, saan naman natin i-charge yung contributions? Yung contributions, dahil cash yan, sa balance sheet yan, or statement of financial position, na later on, i-entry natin, malalaman natin na kung bakit natin ilalagay yung contribution statement of financial position, or the balance sheet. Okay? So, interest income, profit or loss, benefits paid, yan ang mag-o-offset dun sa ating defined benefit obligation. Actuarial gain or loss, charge natin sa OCI, syempre. Paper gain, paper loss. So, yung ending balance dito, guys, sa ating DBO at saka fair value of the plan asset will be compared. Okay, so i-compare natin dito. Diba? Yung DBO balance mo sa computation na nasa taas, i-compare natin sa fair value of the plan asset. Yung decision dito, if the fair value or if the DBO, okay, is greater than the fair value of the plan asset, natural liability pa rin yan. Kung iisipin natin, mas mataas pa rin yung liability kaysa yung hawak-hawak mong pondo. Okay? Ibig sabihin, popondohan mo pa rin, kaya kailangan mong mag-accrue. Okay? Retirement liability ang isa-set up mo. On the other hand, kapag ang DBO mo naman na mas mababa dun sa asset na hawak-hawak mo, ibig sabihin may prepaid ka, may advance ka doon. Kaya ang isa-set up natin is retirement asset. Nagiget. So, kahit hindi mo naman isaulo, 'di ba? DBO greater than, 'di ba, sa ating fair value of the plan asset. Ang importante, alam mo yung concept, basic accounting pa nga lang 'yan, 'di ba? Kung mas mataas yung asset mo kaysa yung liability mo, natural mayroon kang sobra or surplus, 'di ba? So, 'yun lang po yung gusto kong sabihin or yung punto ko dito sa ating difference ng DBO at saka fair value of the plan asset. Okay? So, ito po yung konting concept ng ating DBO at saka fair value of the plan asset. Ang kulit-kulit na ni sir. Okay? So, para sa inyo din naman po ito. Okay? So, next, dito tayo sa benefit expense. So, okay na tayo sa DBO. Diba? Tatlo yung pag-uusapan natin. DBO, fair value of the plan asset, and the benefit expense. So, yung benefit expense, ano naman ang composition niyan? Sir, ang composition niyan based on the concept. Naalala pa ni isang reviewee, di ba? Ito, current service cost, past service cost, interest expense, at saka interest income. Okay? So, ngayon, yung current service cost, ang effect, ang ating benefit expense, yan, ibobold ko lang. Okay, ang effect niyan, syempre, tataas ang ating expense. Yung benefit expense, actually, pension cost din sa mga ibang problems. Okay, so interchangeably, ginagamit yung mga terminologies na yun. So, ingat lang, pero parehas lang po yun. Okay? So, past service cost, tataas ang benefit expense. Interest expense, tataas syempre. Interest income, mababawasan. That would be your benefit expense. Okay? So, yan po yung ating kwento. Okay? Yan po yung discussion natin dun sa tatlo. DBO, fair value of plan asset, and the benefit expense. And then, what is this? Yung ating OCI, yan po yung actuarial gain or loss. Ayan. So, yung actuarial gain or loss na yan, nakikita natin sa other comprehensive income. Di ba alam naman natin yung profit or loss, kanina ko pa din i-discuss. Yung profit or loss, yung sales, di ba? Net sales, cost of sales, gross profit, operating expenses, and then syempre nandyan yung net income o profit or loss na statement na sinasabi. Yung below line item, kung bakit other comprehensive income, inalapat lang yan, dinagdag, in-extend dun sa profit or loss. Isiningit yung mga other comprehensive income, yung mga derivative, yung sa hedging, 'di ba? Yung ating yung actuarial gain or loss, yung paper gain, paper loss, yan po yung mga in-extend doon or in-add or adjustment doon sa ating profit or loss para mag-come up tayo or makuha natin yung bottom line na other or total comprehensive income. Okay, yun lang po yan. So, ang gusto kong sabihin lang dito, ang punto ko lang dito, na yung OCI dito sa ating employee benefits under PAS number 19 is included on the other comprehensive income items. Okay, so yun po yung ating actuarial gain or loss. Pasok sa OCI items. Okay? So, let's go. Sigurado, ready na tayo sa comprehensive na problem. Okay? Comprehensive problem. Ayan. So, naka-prepare tayo ulit dyan. Okay, so ang technique dito, wag nating masyadong isaulo yung mga accounts. Okay, kasi pag nagkaroon tayo ng problema at na mental block tayo o anong susunod sa interest expense pa service cost, nakalimutan mo na. Ang importante dito guys, kaya ako pinaulit-ulit yung mga concept dahil malalaman natin yung movement. Okay? Yung movement ng DBO, yung movement ng benefit expense and also yung fair value of the plan asset. Kalimitan ang tinatanong ng CPA board questions ay yung mismong questionnaire ay yung mismong DBO, fair value of the plan asset ending, 'di ba? Benefit expense yan lang naman eh. Okay, so kapag binigyan lang tayo ng medyo complex na problem, kapag babalik ta rin. Pero alam naman natin kung paano i-compute pababa. So kung workback naman ng pag-uusapan, yakang-yaka pa rin natin 'yon. Kung ang pina-compute for example is the DBO beginning, di mag-start tayo sa DBO ending pataas. Okay? So kapag ang kinompute for example is yung fair value of the plan asset beginning, dahil ang kabisado mo lang ay ending, magwo-work back lang tayo pataas. Okay? So ganun lang po yung ating technique dito. So kailangan natin malaman yung movement ng account titles dito, yung mga expense related, interest income, para mas unawaan natin, maintindihan natin kung anong ibig sabihin nitong employee benefits na to or yung defined benefit plan na to. Okay? So yun po tayo. So, at the beginning of the current year, the memorandum records in relation to a defined benefit plan showed the following. We have fair value of the plan asset, 5 million. Projected benefit obligation is 7 million, DBO. So, parehas lang po yan. So, dito pa lang malalaman ko na meron tayong retirement liability. Sir, bakit na namang may retirement liability dyan? Siyempre, mas mataas guys yung ating obligation kaysa asset. Diba? So, meron tayong beginning na retirement liability na naka-set up against a statement of financial position or the balance sheet. Okay? So, during the year, the following transactions are gathered. Meron tayong current service cost. Ayan, given na po. Current service cost, past service cost, kasi kinumpute natin kanina dito, di ba, gamit yung PUCM, nag-present value tayo gamit ang discount rate na 10%. Dito naman given na. Okay, so current service cost is 1.2 million. Past service cost, okay, so may past service cost tayo na 300,000, o, di ba? Nagkaroon ng declaration, meron ng plano, pero nagkaroon ng amendment after 3 years, nagkaroon ng additional cost or additional na ipopondohan para sa ating retirees, di ba? So, yun yung past service cost. Actual return on plan asset, dito sa actual return on plan asset, naalala ko ulit na meron tayong remeasurement dito. Pag sinabi mong remeasurement, meron tayong estimated versus yung actual para malaman yung actuarial gain or loss. Okay? So, contributions, na syempre na madami tayong retirees, meron tayong benefits paid, kailangan nating pondohan. Yung nandun sa ating third party for example, 'di ba? Doon sa ating pinag-usapan na pondo. Nasa third party, kaya meron tayong contribution na binibigay. Okay, benefits paid, actuarial loss due to increase in the projected benefit obligation or DBO. Actuarial loss, okay, tataas ang DBO natin or projected benefit obligations. Okay, so 900,000 'yon. Discount rate po natin 10%. So, ang papakompute dito is the DBO, the fair value of the plan asset, and the benefit expense. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so apply natin beginning, given. Okay, so mas maintindihan natin ang movement. So, ating beginning ay 7 million. Yung current service cost given po at 1.2 million. Interest expense, what is the basis ulit? Ang interest expense is based on the beginning of the obligation. So, 10% ang discount rate times 0.1. 700,000 ang interest expense for the obligation. Tataas ang obligation? Yes. Okay, past service cost, tataas ang obligation? Yes. 300,000. Benefits paid, mababawasan ang ating obligation. Actuarial loss, tataas ang ating obligation by 900,000. Okay, so ang total DBO ending natin ay 9.6 million. Okay? So fair value of the plan asset naman tayo. Okay, so transfer natin guys. Beginning 5 million. Contributions, magkano? 1 million. Tataas? Yes. Interest income, saan ulit basis nito? And the beginning balance ng ating plan asset. Okay? At 10% din. So, 500,000. Benefits paid, 500,000. Actuarial. Ano tong actuarial na to? Actuarial remeasurement ng ating plan asset dito. Okay? Actuarial gain or loss sa ating plan asset. Ngayon, yung ating actual return on plan asset dyan is 800,000. Take note, remeasurement po ang pag-uusapan natin dito. Okay, so 800,000 is the actual return on plan asset. Yung nandun sa nasa ano mo, third party, nag-increase. Okay, nag-increase yung plan asset mo. Yung return niya, dun sa investment, invest ng third party for example, ay 800,000 yung actual. Pero yung estimated mo is only 500,000. Okay, so magkano ba yung ating okay, so ang ating estimated ay 500,000 pero 800,000 yung actual na pumasok. So meron tayong actuarial gain, di ba? Actuarial gain 'yan. So 800 less 500 na estimated para sa remeasurement natin. So meron tayong 300,000 na actuarial gain. So the balance of our fair value of the plan asset ending ay 6.3 million. Okay, next procedure natin, DBO versus yung fair value of the plan asset. So, 9.6 versus 6.3 million. So, meron tayong retirement liability as of na 3.3 million. So, mas mataas pa rin yung obligation, guys. Kaya meron po tayong retirement liability dyan. And then, take note, sa taas, yung retirement liability beginning para malaman natin yung change, yung movement ng ating retirement liability. Diba meron tayong kinompute na 2 million and that 2 million yan yung beginning na retirement liability na na-setup. Ngayong taon ang as of mo ay 3.3 million. So ang movement natin dito, mag-a-accrue tayo ng additional na 1.3. Kulang pa tayo ng 1.3. Okay, tama ba? So we have, ayan, so 1.3 ang kulang natin. Ang tawag dyan, retirement liability na additional, i-accrue natin yan. Okay? So that would be our difference ng ating DBO at saka fair value of the plan asset. Mukhang medyo nauunawaan na, I think, di ba? So, benefit expense, transfer natin, current service cost, given, past service cost, 300,000, interest expense, 700,000, interest income, sir, interest income, mababawasan ang aking benefit expense. Okay, by 500,000. So, ang benefit expense ko na i-represent sa profit or loss. Okay, so 1.7 million. Ingat dito guys, baka magtanong ang problem. Under past number 19, saan mo i-present yung benefit expense mo? Sa OCI ba? Sabi niya, di ba? OCI ba o profit or loss? Natural sa profit or loss. Kasi yung benefit expense, nandun pa rin sa taas ng profit or loss. Okay? Yung ating OCI items, yung mga actuarial gain or loss, yung mga paper gain, paper loss. Okay? So, yun po yung ating benefit expense. So, ang next natin ay yung, ayan, yung entry. Okay? So, yung entry, yung actuarial loss, meron na 600,000. Paano na-compute yan, sir? Diba sa ating other comprehensive income, sabi ko nga, dapat nandyan na yung paper gain, paper loss. So, yung 600,000 dyan, na-compute dyan, based on the DBO, na actuarial loss na 900,000, less the actuarial gain dun sa plan asset. Net. Okay? Net lang ang nangyari dito. Net lang po yung dalawa, yung DBO at saka yung fair value of the plan asset na actuarial gain. Okay? So, 300,000 yung gain, 900,000 yung loss. So, meron pa tayong net na loss na 600,000 na ipe-present sa other comprehensive income. Okay? Gets yan ha? Okay, ngayon, ang entry naman natin dito sa ating problem, meron tayong contributions kung ang reason kung bakit naka-asterisk yan. Dahil ito, sinasabi ko nga dito sa una, di ba? Naalala nyo? Ayan, balikan lang natin saglit. Ayan, balance sheet or statement of financial position. Kasi gagamit ka na ng entry na, or account title na cash dyan. Okay? So, magki-credit ka ng cash na 1 million. Ay, 1 million. Ba yan? Mali. Ba yan? Okay, 1 million. So, yun yung credit cash natin na contribution. Ngayon, ang benefit expense natin. So, benefit expense. So, debit tayo ng benefit expense na magkano na yun? 1.7 million. And then, meron pa tayong liability, retirement liability. Naalala nyo yung movement natin ng retirement liability. Kulang tayo kulang tayo sa pondo, kaya kailangan natin mag-accrue ng retirement liability. So, meron tayong liability pa na 1.3 million. Ngayon, yung ilalagay nating entry dito, yun yung remeasurement. Okay? Remeasurement. Or yung actuarial. Okay, so yung actuarial natin na magkano? 600,000. So dapat at the end of the day, at the end of your computations, kailangan balance itong debit at saka credit. Ayan, so 2.3 po. So yan po yung ating defined benefit, di ba? Defined benefit plan na discussions, part 3, di ba, ng ating discussion sa employee benefits under standard number 19. Okay, I hope meron kayong natutunan dito. Yung movement, ang importante dito yung movement para mas ma-master natin yung ating employee benefits na topic. Okay? So again, this is Jeff Ramos, your reviewer for financial accounting and reporting. Thank you so much and God bless po.